Hello dear students, you are welcome in this video. Students, this is high time for examinations. In the whole country, universities are conducting examinations and hence we have started making multiple choice questions series. So dear students, most of the examinations which you find or which you appear are based on multiple choice questions, and hence we have these multiple choice questions. So we have already made many videos on MCQs like literary criticism, literary theory. We also have made some videos on MCQs based on poetic, based on the forms of poetry. So you can check those videos too. So in this video we are going to have multiple choice questions on some select odes and ballads. Dear students, in the last video we have covered ode and ballad as a form of poetry and we have prepared 22 multiple choice questions. Dear students, here in this video you find there are 18 multiple choice questions, and as always you need to take a pen and paper and note down the question, and in front of question your option or your answer. Then at the end of this video you have to calculate all the score. So we have assigned 36 marks, means each question carries 2 marks as always. So please, let's jump into the test and have multiple choice questions on some select odes and ballads. Dear students, as you see on the screen, we have select odes and ballads. For example, we have odes like Ode to a Nightingale, Intimations of Immortality. Then we have ballads like the Ballad of Father Gilligan, the Inchcape Rock, and others. So here the very first question: John Keats composed the following ode dash, and options are A. Dejection and Ode, B. Mutability, C. Ode to a Nightingale, and D. Ode to Solitude. So before question number 1, just write down question number 1, and in front of question number 1 write down your option, and after all options you have to calculate the score. 2 marks are given to each question, so each multiple choice question. Here we see John Keats composed Ode to a Nightingale. See, this is a very famous ode in English literature, Ode to a Nightingale. Question number 2, according to Keats, Nightingale will live on dash. Options are A. Through its dark color, B. Through its song, C. Through forest, and D. Through its wings. Please choose your option, and correct option is B. Through its song. Question number 3, in the last stanza of Ode to a Nightingale, Keats accepts the fact that dash. Options are A. Life is painful, B. Life is beautiful, C. Death is inevitable, and D. There is no death. So please note down correct option. Now dear students, just before or writing, when you write your answer, please mark it as correct or wrong. Just take it as correct sign, or if it is wrong, just put it wrong on that question so that you can calculate your score. Correct option here we have C. Death is inevitable. So this is the theme, we can say one of the themes of this famous sonnet called Ode to a Nightingale. In this sonnet, John Keats talks about the very theme of death. So death cannot be avoided is a message he wanted to give through this poem. Question number 4, ode Intimations of Immortality is also known as. So this is another famous ode in English literature, and it is also known as. Options are A. The Great Ode, B. The Great Poem, C. The Great Child Poem, and D. The Great Song. Please note down your option, and the correct option is The Great Ode. So ode Intimations of Immortality is composed by William Wordsworth. It is a very famous ode in English literature, and this ode is also known as Great Ode in English literature. So dear students, please remember this, because there is possibility such type of questions may appear for your exam. So let's move to the next question. Question number 5, ode Intimations of Immortality is based on. Options are A. Relationship between nature and nature, B. Relationship between nature and animals, C. Relationship between nature and birds, and D. Relationship between nature and man. Please note down your option, and on that option please tick right or wrong. If it is right, tick correct, or if it is wrong, just put wrong. And the correct option is relationship between nature and man, D option. So dear students, this Intimations of Immortality displays the relationship between man and nature, and we find there is a great description of nature. Actually, John Keats, P.B. Shelley, William Wordsworth, these poets are romantic poets. When you study their literature, their poems, you find how they have delineated nature in their poetry, in their literature, in their works, and how they have put the relationship between nature and man, and how there is a beautiful composition of nature, and how man learns from nature are basic themes in these poets. So here we have relationship between nature and man, D option. Question number 6. Our birth is but a sleep and a forgetting, the soul that rises with us, our life star. These lines appear in. Options are A. Ode, Intimations of Immortality, B. Dejection and Ode, C. Mutability, and D. Ode to Evening. I know this is a bit difficult question, but dear students, if you want to prepare for any competitive exams or exams like SET, State Eligibility Test, or National Eligibility Test, or JRF, you need to study in this way. This type of questions often are asked in exams like NET or SET. So please consider this. And here we have correct option A, Ode, Intimations of Immortality. These lines appear in William Wordsworth's Ode, Intimations of Immortality. Question number 7. Dejection and Ode is a response to dash. Options are A. Mutability, B. Ode to a Nightingale, C. Ode, Intimations of Immortality, and D. Ode to West Wind. So dejection is basically written to provide a response to the following ode. So correct option here we have C, Ode, Intimations of Immortality. First William Wordsworth composed this ode, and then we find Dejection and Ode is composed in response to this particular ode. Next question, question number 8. Who composed Dejection and Ode? Options are A. William Wordsworth, B. S.T. Coleridge, C. P.B. Shelley, and D. John Keats. I hope you know this question, and the correct option is B. S.T. Coleridge composed Dejection and Ode in response to William Wordsworth's Ode, Intimations of Immortality. Question number 9. P.B. Shelley composed the following ode. Options are A. Mutability, B. Ode to the West Wind, C. Ode to Child, and D. A and B. So please note down your option, and correct option is D, A and B, means P.B. Shelley composed Mutability and Ode to the West Wind. Dear students, Ode to the West Wind is a famous ode in English literature. If you read this ode, you find it is directly addressed to the wind, an entity, a thing, wind. So here we have the great skill of composition of P.B. Shelley in this ode, and again we have his another ode called Mutability. Both odes are composed by P.B. Shelley. Let's move to the next question. Number 10. Dash is the theme of mutability. What is the theme of mutability? Options are A. Constant change in life, B. Fear in life, C. Life doesn't change, and D. Emotions doesn't change. So theme of this mutability is also important, and correct option is A. Constant change in life. So P.B. Shelley's Mutability talks about constant change in life. There is nothing constant in the life, but change is the constant. Question number 11. Here we have some lines. We are as clouds that veil the midnight moon, how restlessly they speed and gleam and quiver, streaking the darkness radiantly. Yet soon night close round and they are lost forever. So these lines are taken from the ode. Please give the name of ode in which these lines appear. Options are A. Ode to the West Wind, B. Dejection and Ode, C. Mutability, and D. Ode to a Nightingale. Please note down your option. I know that this is again a difficult question, but you should know about these type of difficult questions. So these questions are asked in many exams, and the correct option is C, mutability. These lines appear in mutability. Question number 12. In Ode to Solitude, Alexander Pope desires for dash. Options are A, life without violence and rules of society, B, life with some rules of society, C, life with enthusiasm, and D, life with no one. So please choose your option. So what desires in this ode called Ode to Solitude? And correct option is A, life without violence and rules of society. So Alexander Pope highly desires life without violence and rules of society. If you read Ode to Solitude, if you find this title is also a very explanative, you can see Ode to Solitude. So what needs here Alexander Pope? Nothing but without life without violence and rules of society. Next question. The Ballad of Father Gilligan is composed by, who composed this ballad? And options are A, Robert Southey, B, Ezra Pound, C, Alfred Tennyson, and D, W.B. Yeats. Who composed this ballad? And correct option is William Butler Yeats, D option. Next question, question number 14. The ballad The Inchcape Rock by Robert Southey based on the legend of dash. So this particular ballad is based on a legend. So what is that legend? Please answer. Options are A, rock, B, church, C, abbot of Arbroath or Aberbrothok, and D, abbot of Carbroth. So please choose your correct option, and the correct option is C, abbot of Arbroath, or the same is called as Aberbrothok. Next question. Ballad of the Goodly Fere is written by, who written this ballad? And options are A, Alfred Tennyson, B, P.B. Shelley, C, William Wordsworth, and D, Ezra Pound. Please note down your option, and we have correct option D, Ezra Pound composed Ballad of the Goodly Fere. Question number 16. A lament is about dash. A, lost friend, B, lost wife, C, lost time, youth and opportunity, and D, A and B. Please note down your option, and students, the correct option is C, lost time, youth and opportunity. So a lament is also an important ballad in English literature, though its name is lament, but it is composed in the form of ballad. So here we have a very important theme of this ballad. It talks about the lost time, lost youth and lost opportunity. All these things are important in one's life. So here we can say that laments in a way because of the losing of these things in the life. Question number 17. In how many parts the ballad The Lady of Shalott is composed by Tennyson? So Tennyson composed this ballad called Lady of Shalott, the Ballad of Lady of Shalott. How many parts are there in this ballad? We have options A, 3 parts, B, 4 parts, C, 2 parts, and D, 5 parts. Please note down your option, and correct option is there are 4 parts in the Lady of Shalott in this ballad. And dear students, here now we have a last question. 18. In Ballad of the Goodly Fere, the poet reimagines A, a man, B, Jesus as man's man, C, a woman, and D, nature. Please note down your option, and the correct option is B, Jesus as man's man. So Ballad of Goodly Fere is composed by Ezra Pound, and here we find the theme of Jesus as man's man. So dear students, this is all about 18 multiple choice questions. Please calculate your score and comment your score below in the comment section. So I will appreciate your comments, your score. So dear students, if you find any difficulty, any issue related to English literature or with this series of multiple choice questions, you are free to ask me. You can comment below in the comment section, or I have given my email ID in the about section of our channel Literature Simply. So dear students, please like this video, share this video among your friends, and subscribe Literature Simply if you are not subscribed yet, and also press the bell notification icon. Thank you very much. Let's meet in the next video.